On to our next game. This was a AFC North battle for first place, and that was Steelers Ravens. And the Steelers would go on to win this game 27-22. The Ravens fall to 6-7, and the Steelers rise to 7-6, taking first place. In this one, I anticipated it to be a bit more of a defensive showdown than it ended up being. Uh, Things started off, though where there were some mistakes and turnovers, things started off pretty live. Rodgers to DK was on fire today. Down 3-0 early. They led a strong drive down to the goal line after one of those passes. And then we got the Aaron Rodgers discount double check touchdown celebration after he took
That
it
shit
in
was fire.
himself. I
That
love
shit
to
was
see
tough.
it. Perk Rodgers is alive and well. He's here. And he was playing really good in this game, especially with his. It seemed like he was really trusting DK. Yeah, if everyone can see, we got the Perk Rogers Jets jersey right there, and yeah, it was just really mostly that from the Steelers' offense throughout the game. Um, they would get a field goal out of their next drive, and then in response, Lamar extending the play would lob a pass in the scramble drill, and it would be intercepted. And it's at this point where it really seemed like the Steelers were pulling away with this one. But Keaton Mitchell, I looked up at the screen and thought it was Derrick Henry, but no, it was Keaton Mitchell streaking up the sideline for the Ravens, down to the 5 yard line, and they make it 20-16. And the Steelers respond with a Calvin Austin deep shot and then a Jalen Warren touchdown. So this is a back and forth competitive game. Like I said, I anticipated it to be a defensive showdown, but these two offenses actually found some success outside of some of their sloppy mistakes. The Ravens are down 27-22 late, and they get inside the 10 yard line. And then after a controversial no call, or excuse me, a no touchdown call on an Isaiah Likely touchdown, would be touchdown catch, the Steelers defense gets the stop. They would get the ball back with very little time, but they were sacked with no timeouts, and that's how this game ended. So overall, I thought initially, kind of as I prepared to pick all the games this week, I thought I would be picking the Ravens, and then I just thought about it more and more and how ugly the Steelers looked the Ravens against the Bengals the week before, and I thought, well, the Steelers gotta have the turnover battle in hand here, and that interception early on really allowed them to stay ahead and stay in their game script. So they've got a loose hold on first place in the AFC North. These two teams play again in the next 3 weeks. So we'll see if, maybe the Ravens can finally go to Pittsburgh and win over there. They still have the rest of the regular season schedules that they've got to play. But right now it looks like the Steelers are AFC North kings. So guys, what is our overall reaction to this? Joey, I know you picked this game with me, so why don't you just kind of build off of anything I was saying?
Started off, there's death. There's only three things guaranteed in life. It's death, taxes, and Mike Tomlin owning Lamar Jackson. I thought we saw that today. Mike Tomlin, we had all the rumors with Mike Tomlin, pregame or leading up this week, how the Steelers need to go in a different direction. What a way to silence that with a win versus the Ravens on the road. I'm wearing my Rodgers jersey just as a reflection. Like, we got to enjoy what we can with Aaron Rodgers. Like, you don't know, this could be his last year and whatnot. I just feel like we're going to miss him when he's gone. He's such a great player. And I thought the DK Metcalf thing, like, they were on one today. It seemed like there was a lot of talk about DK Metcalf and the Steelers receivers, and then being compared to George Pickens and what Pickens has done in Dallas. So I feel like, plus the guaranteed contract that DK has, I feel like there was a lot of talk about that. So they were trying to, have him break out, and they did. I would like to see them take more chances with DK. I will say DK does look slow, though. He looks slow as hell.
Yep.
He looks like he's got
He looks like he's having a hard time getting off breaks, having a hard time separating, having a hard time. It looked like he put some weight on, boy.
Yeah.
You know what?
He's got to unhook the trailer.
You know what I gotta say
more
though?
than just black coffee and candy now. He's actually eating for real meals.
You know what? You know what's really odd though? I almost thought that, like, even though he looks kind of slow, I feel like he looks a little more acrobatic because he's been working with Rodgers specifically, and he's been practicing.
That's contradictory.
It is contradictory that his top speed wouldn't line up with it, but it's two different kinds of athleticism to be. You're not practicing sprinting the same way you're practicing pirouetting through the air to catch a ball, And I don't really think with Russell Wilson, he was the best back shoulder guy. I think he was more of like an in the bucket, so DK just had to beat his guy. Now he can't really do that quite as well because his release isn't quite that fast, and he's got to win with his frame and his physicality, and it's actually something that you wouldn't think, but his contested catch rate was not that good coming into Pittsburgh in his last couple of years in Seattle. And I think just working with Rodgers, we saw it in this game. Marlon Humphrey's a good corner, and for him to make physical catches like that on timing throws away from coverage, I thought it was maybe a change in DK's game that we've needed to see if he was going to be a player for a long time. Because if he lost his speed, he wasn't going to have anything else.
I did see Rodgers try to give him a Tay throw. I did see that, and dude completely whiffed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was kind of it was kind of sad because I was kind of excited when I first saw that. Where he goes instantaneous, hezzy step outside, and Rodgers with that quick 1-2, and he stares directly at it, and he puts on the money 90% of the time. And you saw DK looking back with that step. Turned and completely whiffed. I was just like,
it wasn't completely whiffed. It was a very tough catch. I was like, it was up there. He got his hands on it. He just didn't haul it in, which is like, okay. I mean, he's getting there. Most of the catches he did have were in the bucket passes, but they were closer to the sideline. You know what I mean? Like the guy in coverage may have been right around the corner. It was just very high accuracy throws by Rodgers today. I was honestly mostly impressed by him and the throws that he was making today, because he looked as good as he's ever looked in the past couple years today on those throws. So, yeah, there isn't too much to say about this game, and that's going to go for a lot of the games moving forward for the rest of the show. But at least this one was a big